Well, hey there. Good morning. Welcome back to Danny's Green Surface Cleaning. Today, I'm working on a small deck project. Just a little guy. But it's going to be, there's a lot of process, or many steps to get this deck refinished. I'm going to start off with trying to strip off all of the old stain and then brighten things up, get that natural wood color. It's a cedar deck, so it should brighten up pretty good. And then I'll follow up after a few days of it to a dry time, sand it down. Sorry about my wrinkly shirt. I was in a little bit of a hurry this morning. Moving my son back to college tomorrow, so I got lots to do this afternoon. So I'm here fairly early in the morning, going to get this taken care of. It's not too early. I don't want to wake up the neighbors. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I think people are awake by now. Should be anyway. It's not a weekend. Anyway, I'm blabbering. So yeah, so I'm going to start rolling out some equipment, get the furniture off, and put it off to a safe distance, and see how this turns out. So stay tuned, sit back and relax. Enough of me yapping. I'm gonna get to work. Sometimes you just gotta have a lot of hose on hand. The faucet's all the way around the other side. No problem though. I got this. Alright, so I'm going to start off by washing this down real quick, and then I'm going to spray down the stain remover. You can hear the machine rolling in the background, I assume. Some people may ask me, why not just sand it all down? Why strip it first? Well, let me grab the camera here. Try not to make anybody nauseous. I'm not able to get the sander in all these grooves here and in between these boards. So trying to strip all that off first to get as much as I possibly can. It's just a little bit easier, but it's also better for the wood. I would have to heavily sand this down, ends and everything, and I'm still not able to get all of the stain down, or out. Anyway, that's my method. I'm sure there's others that have different methods in order to do it. Line this up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna rinse this off real quick, put the stain remover on it, and you're gonna see pretty much right away as it kind of discolors and changes, removing that stain. I'm using a soft pressure tip. This has a larger orifice to it. I don't want piercing pressure. It might be easy to come in here with a ton of pressure and just blast the crap out of it, but that's going to result in scarring and a lot more sanding to smooth out. some work. All right. Definitely doesn't look pretty. I'm gonna give this a good rinse down. I'll try scrubbing up the sides a little bit. I'm gonna bring a shovel in and dig this corner. A little winded. That's a small deck. It's kind of the way it goes sometimes. You know, I wanted to stop and say thank you real quick to all the comments that I'm getting. I really enjoy reading those, and I thank everybody for the encouraging words and comments on how I'm doing and me yapping. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. Appreciate it. Keep them coming. I'm gonna keep working. Oh, looks like brownie batter. Put that in a pan in the oven. A recipe for toxicity. That is a word. That is a word. Let's rinse this off. We're going with the same soft pressure tip. See how much of this old stain comes off. Very slippery. Should have done that earlier. Better late than never. Okay, so I'm going to spray this one more time with the stain remover because there's still some remnant stain. And then wash it off one more time. And then it'll be time to put the Revival on. What Revival is oxalic acid, and it's going to restore the natural color of the wood. And you're not going to want to miss that because you think this might look kind of nice, kind of neat. Wait till I put that stuff on. It's like a magic wand. It just should brighten everything up. Really, really nice. And then I'll be done for this step. But still got a little bit more to go. All right, well, I would say it looks pretty good. I'm ready now to put the Revival solution on, the oxalic acid, and I want to do that when it's still wet. So this should have a dramatic difference when applying this, so it should look good. There's definitely going to be some sanding that needs to be done after this. Just want to point that out. I'm already seeing a couple areas where it's pretty stubborn with the stain, and I don't want to continue to keep putting the stain remover on because I'd say about 90% of it is off, and the rest of it I can get off with just a light sanding. Let's see what this looks like, huh? It started. Give it a minute. Alright, so it's been about 10-15 minutes since I sprayed this down with the Revival solution, and as you can see, it really brightened it up quite a bit. So I'm just going to lightly rinse it off. I'm not applying any heavy pressure. If it's something you're doing at home, at this stage you could even use a garden hose. I just don't want that product to dry on it. Might leave a little residue, so I'm just going to rinse it off, rinse the house off really good. Everything around it off really good, plants and such, and then we'll be just sitting around waiting for a couple days, let it dry up for the next phase. All right, well, got all the equipment wrapped up back in the truck, and I'm gonna leave them some color samples that I made. So this might be kind of a fun guessing game. What do you think they will choose? Now, obviously, when the wood dries, it's gonna be much brighter, and when I do some of the final sanding, it will be more true to the natural color. So it's kind of a hard guessing game at this point, but we've got a redwood finish, we've got a natural finish, which is kind of what that looks like, minus the shine. We have teak, dark oak. This is my personal favorite. Reason that's my favorite is because when you're refinishing old wood, especially when it has had a stain on it, if you go with a darker color tone, it will help blend in any discrepancies, whether it's the old stain, furniture leaving a stain, barbecues, or just age. The darker color tone will help blend that in, makes it look a lot more even throughout. Butternut, which is very similar to the dark oak. Cedar, which again is a little bit more orange color tone. And then we have mahogany. This has a lot of red color tones as the redwood does. So I'm going to leave these right over here for them. They're out of town. They'll be back tomorrow. And then I'm going to be back. Today's Friday or Thursday. Moving my son back to college tomorrow. So tomorrow's booked, weekend's booked, but I'm going to be back on Monday. Give this deck plenty of time to dry out to finish it off. So phase 1, phase 2, finish up the prep work, sanding and such, and then phase 3 will be putting the stain down. That's the easy part, and kind of one of the most gratifying as well. All right, so there's the color tones that I have to choose from. Sunlight there. So yeah, still some dark spots, but that should come up with the sanding, because I hit it pretty good with that Brightener. And actually, we go down the truck and I'll show you the products that I used on this. All right, so actually start with stain remover. Stain remover, it's a Sherwin-Williams product, Superdeck. I've been using these two products for over a decade, and this is the Revival. There's other products that they carry, deck wash and such. These are the primary products that I use when refinishing a deck, especially if I'm removing old stain. If the deck has never been stained before, obviously no reason to use a stain and sealer remover. Just a good wash down. I'll typically use like a bleach cleaner. I know some people frown upon that, but then I'll follow up with the Revival. That oxalic acid will brighten things up and restore that natural color of the wood. But these two products that I use for this type of application. So I'm gonna hop back in the truck and I'll see you guys in a couple days. All right, I'm back, and it's been 2 or 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, been a couple days, and the deck has had plenty of time to dry. Looked pretty good. Let's take a closer look. So I have a little bit of sanding to do. I'm going to basically do a light sanding over the whole entire deck, but there's definitely some areas here that some remnant stain is on, some old scarring. So we're going to spend a little time sanding this down, and then we're going to put down a teak colored stain by PPG Pro Lux. That's going to look really nice. So we have overcast skies. This is the best time to stain a deck, because if you get a cloudy day or you're able to shade it, I think the sun will break out at some point today. Hopefully not when I'm applying the stain, but we'll just have to see. But time to get back to work. Let's get this thing finished up. A little balancing act, a lot of mud and dirt. Don't want to get that on the deck. I don't bust my butt. There we go. So for this, I'm going to be using, this is a 60 grit. You can use 80 grit for this type of work as well. Probably works just as well. Trying to use a little heavier grit to where, or more aggressive, just to get some of that remaining stain off of there. So, shouldn't take too long to get this done. Got a little bit of dust in there, about halfway done with the sanding. Now, some of you might be wondering why strip the stain if I'm just going to be sanding it. Why don't I just sand it? Well, a couple of reasons. One, with stripping it, I'm able to get about 90+% of the stain off, and I can brighten the wood back up. If I were to just sand it, one, it'd be a lot more sanding. So, gosh, this is really packed in there. A screwdriver, that stuff is really packed in there. And so with stripping it first, it's really just a light sanding that I have to do instead of a heavy try to remove the material. Now, what I've experienced, especially on some of these older decks, is that even sanding it, I'm going to have to get down in there as far as getting deep or removing a significant layer of wood to get it to look like this with sanding it. Because that gray or that aged wood is more than just on the surface. It's actually, it's in there a little bit. And there could be stains on there that are not going to be removed with the sand unless you're going pretty deep. So with stripping it, it's opening up the pores of the wood, and it's going to allow the chemicals to remove those stains, especially when you use a combination of a stain remover and a revival, a brightener. And the oxalic acid helps restore the pH of the wood, and that's why you get it looking relatively new again. All right, empty. All right, done with the sanding, I think. Give this a good blow down, and then time for the fun part. Actually, the real fun part is being done and going home. But the second to fun part is applying the new stain. Yeah. well, almost finished up. Looks pretty good. As it soaks in, as it dries and cures, it'll lighten up probably a little bit. There's still some texture to the wood. If you can hear me, there's still some texture to this wood. It's a cedar deck, so it's a softer wood. No matter how much I'm sanding it, there's going to be a little bit of like a fuzziness, unless you're using a really fine sandpaper, and then you're going for that more of like a hardwood floor finish, and it's really not necessary for an exterior deck like this. So there will be a little bit of fuzziness, a little bit of texture to it. That's natural. In our climate, the cedar decks, we get a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, and that wood kind of swells up like a sponge, soaks it in. And then in the summertime, when it's dry for a couple months and pretty hot in the 90s, that wood shrinks down. So year after year of it doing that, you're going to get a defined texture of the wood. Trying to sand that off is kind of pointless. It's just going to come right back, and the additional labor it would take to do that doesn't make a lot of sense. So this is going to look really good, and I think the homeowner will be very happy with this. Didn't take too much effort to get it done, but just a little, just a little bit more to go, and be wrapping this up. Okay, all diggity done. All right, so as I'm cleaning up, wrapping things up, this is the product that I use. This is a PPG Pro Lux SRD, and what this is used to be called Sickens. So for those of you that are kind of old school or familiar with deck stains, this is used to be called Sickens, now called PPG Pro Lux. You can get it at Miller Paint, Powell Paint if you're local here in the Portland area, but Miller Paint also carries this product. It works really well. I've been using this for over a decade, and 2 to 3 years is the life expectancy of the stain and sealant, but it all depends on the condition of the wood and how you're using it. If you're out here doing line dancing or square dancing or something like that, or have a dog, obviously that's going to take a toll on the integrity and the life of that stain. If the wood is very old and it's very soft, saturated, it'll still soak up the stain, look nice, but the wood itself is fairly soft, so that stain may not last as long, or it may, the wood itself may scar or chip pretty easy. Anyway, this is stuff I use for this type of finish. Natural finishes, they come in a variety of different colors. This is the Teak. Fairly dark, but it will lighten up a little bit as it dries and cures. Give it about 24 hours and 24 to 48. I usually tell people give it 2 days. 2 days of dry time before walking on it, putting anything else on it, and should be good to go. So I'm going to finish wrapping my stuff up. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time on Danny's Green Surface Cleaning. I'm out. It's a beautiful day. Not know what I'm going to do the rest of the day. It's only like 11 o'clock. Things to think of.